in London before you came to Taiwan?
So I first heard about Taiwan from a friend of mine in a climbing gym in Amsterdam, in Holland. And at that time, I was very interested in traveling to new countries to climb. I wanted to go to different places and see the local culture, to see the scenery, to see how everything is different in a different country, and to see what kind of people are climbing there. And in Amsterdam, I was meeting a lot of people in the climbing gym who had traveled a lot. And one friend of mine named Stefan, who I'm very grateful to this day, Stefan told me about Taiwan. And Stefan was a Dutch guy who had spent several years in high school living in Taipei. Stefan told me that of all the places in the world he had been, Taiwan was his favorite. He loved Taipei. He loved the Taipei people. He told me I would really like it. Most important, he said, near Taipei, on the sea, there's some cliffs that you can climb on. And at that time, I'd not climbed on sea cliffs before. I'd climbed in a lot of places and I'd traveled a lot, but I'd never climbed right next to the ocean before. And this sounded kind of exciting, scary. And Taiwan sounded really exciting. And actually, it sounded really scary to me. And when Stefan first told me about Taiwan, I can remember, I thought, oh, that sounds really interesting. It actually sounds exciting. But I don't think I'll ever go to such a place. It's so far and so different. And a couple years later, I was looking for something new, and I made the decision to come check it out. I always remembered what Stefan had told me about those cliffs near Taipei with a funny name that I couldn't remember. And then I knew it was Dragon something, and I wrote Stefan an email and I said, tell me about those cliffs again. And he wrote me back and he said, they're called Longdong. And at Longdong, there's some really good climbing routes. And there's maybe some other routes that nobody climbed yet. But there's really nice people and a great community, and it's a beautiful place, and you must go. And, you know, since then, many people have asked me, what was the most difficult thing about coming to Taiwan? And what was the most difficult thing about coming to Taiwan? And for me, I have to say, the most difficult thing was everything. It was everything. It was so scary to me. It was a new language, a new culture, a completely different country that I'd never been to before. I didn't know what to expect. I was very, very scared. But at the same time, none of it was difficult. Once I made the decision to really come, once I bought the plane ticket, moved out of my apartment in the US, and decided I was coming here, I wanted it to be difficult. I wanted it to be challenging. And somehow all of my fear disappeared. And I can remember very clearly the first night that I arrived. It was 2002. It was Yuan Shaojie. And my taxi took me from the airport to my new apartment. And I remember very well there were a lot of people on the street barbecuing. It was Yuan Shaojie, right? It was a party night in Taiwan. And there were fireworks everywhere, and there were people out on the street. And I can remember sitting in that taxi feeling a little bit scared, but so excited. Really, really excited. And I thought, what am I doing here? I don't know a single person. I didn't know anybody. I didn't know anything about Taiwan. I felt almost as if I was in another planet. And I loved that feeling. It felt amazing. And I thought, wow, I thought this was going to be really difficult. But it just felt fun. Let's see. Let's see what we can do here. I'm going to see if I can make a new life? Can I find a job? Can I find a career? Can I find friends? Can I do the things I want to do? Can I learn the language? That seemed impossible. And most important, I needed to see what these cliffs looked like. And so on the third day that I was in Taiwan, I took the bus and the train and taxi, another bus, from Hsinchu to right here, to Longdong. And it was raining. I was by myself. I had a big backpack full of climbing gear, and I hoped I could find somebody to climb with, or not. And I came in, I walked into these cliffs by myself. There was nobody inside. It was raining. And I went to School Gate, and I climbed staircase. And I just climbed it by myself. And I went up and I went down. And I felt my heart was beating. And I knew if all of Longdong is like this, I think this is the place for me. This feels really, really special. I didn't know that I was gonna stay until now, right? But it captured my heart, you know. And ever since then, the experience of coming here, I feel so lucky to do it. I love this place. I've spent hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, maybe 1,000 days here. I've made friends that I will keep for life, and I've been really lucky to become part of a great community of people here. So I'm really grateful for everything that's happened so far.
So, okay.